So now that Halloween's officially over, I can start watching Christmas movies, right? Hey WordNerds, it is Tuesday, November 5th, and that means it's Reader's Nook, where I will talk about books, which is basically like every other day, but I will tell you about what I've been reading, what I want to read, what I just recently have finished reading. So let's go from there. I'm going to start with books I just recently finished, and by recently I kind of mean within the last month, or maybe more than a month, because I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and read a book for a while, so, ugh. I'll start with one I hadn't heard about until WordNerd Kelly gave it to me for, I don't know if it was for my birthday or if she just owed me books because she was late on editing something, I'm not sure, but For Darkness Shows the Stars. Look how gorgeous that cover is. I fell in love with the cover first, and then I quickly fell in love with the book, not only because it smells like oranges. I don't know what that's about, but I love it. But I loved the characters in this story, and I loved how they kind of developed through their history and the way she told the history through notes shared to each other, and it just kind of was a slow build to an ending that I really loved. It's a different take on Jane Austen's Persuasion, which I have never read, but I assume that since this is inspired by it, I might actually like it since I loved this book. Another recent book I read, again from Kelly, was Cinder. How have I not read this before? It's been on my to-be-read list for, oh gosh, forever. Since it came out, I immediately added it. It's a retelling of Cinderella, obviously, only with a bit of a cyborg twist, which you really can't go wrong with a cyborg twist to a classic fairy tale. Can you? I loved that it was set in Beijing, China in the future. I loved that the characters were all really developed well and had their own personality, and it was just a great book, and now I need to get the sequels, and I hope that they're as good as this one because I absolutely loved it. On to my currently reading list. Now, I'm in school. I'm actually taking two really tough classes this semester, Religions of the World and World Literature. How did I almost forget that? I just started last week, and they're already killing me, but I'm enjoying it. Because I'm twisted that way. So my reading now list is really just textbooks. I have a Religions of the World textbook, which is online. That's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I also have my World Literature textbooks, which I love. These are them, and they're super heavy. I could kill somebody with these. They're the Norton Anthology of World Literature, 3 volumes. They're not organized. A, B, and C. And the textbooks are super heavy, super thick. Each has like at least 800 pages in it. They've got like Bible pages where they're like really thin, and they've got a lot of text on one page and really small font. I've already read the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is an epic poem from ancient Mesopotamia, written in Sumerian, I believe was originally, but it's obviously translated because I cannot read Sumerian. And I've also read the entire book of Genesis from the Old Testament, which was a lot of, obviously, religious creationism stories about Adam and Eve and everything. And this week in class we are reading the play Medea, so hopefully I'll like that as much as I like Gilgamesh. So that's really all I've had the time to read recently because I've got to finish these books in about 8 weeks. So strap in. Shake the whole house when I set them down. And finally, the list I'm most excited for is my to-be-read list. Now, my to-be-read list is like a mile long, at least. They're sitting there on my nightstand taunting me. Up first is Angel Fall. I have heard such great things about this book, and obviously I'm a fan of angels and demons, so I've been dying to read this. I probably won't get to this until I finish the Ignite series because I don't want to be influenced by whatever happens in this, and I kind of want to enter into it after I've left my own world of angels and demons, but it's been getting such great reviews on Goodreads that I knew I had to get it while it was at such a low price. In one of my previous videos I mentioned that I had just recently read Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I fell in love with it, so as soon as I finished that book, I went on Amazon and I ordered the sequel, which I have been wanting to read, oh, so bad, so bad. But I haven't gotten around to it yet because I want to be able to sit down and finish it and not have to keep interrupting it with schoolwork and writing and everything. So I have held off on this, but as soon as winter break starts, I am going to sit down, read this in a night, and then probably cry about it because I loved the first book and the way it ended, I needed the sequel, and I need to read it now. And finally, one of the big obvious does on my to-be-read list is Allegiant. Oh gosh, I still have not read this, though I got it the day it came out because it was a late birthday present from one of my friends, and I have been dying to read it. Somehow I have managed to stay somewhat spoiler-free. I know that somebody dies. It sounds like maybe a main character dies, but I don't know who it is, and I don't want to know who it is until I finish reading it because I have been waiting for this book since Insurgent came out. I got Divergent as a Christmas gift. I read it in one night. Next month when Insurgent came out, I rushed to the store with my sister. We picked up a copy. I sat up all night reading it and then have been counting down until Allegiant came out, and now that it's here, I really want to read it. I've heard both great and not so great things about it, so I'm hoping that I will like it. I know that people are really upset at whoever dies in it, but I cannot touch on that subject until I've read it and see how it's done. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for the pain of the book, but I really need to read it, so I better be ready. So that is all I have for you today about what I've been reading, what I am reading, and what I will hopefully really soon be reading if I get a break in my schoolwork. I will see you guys next Monday on Ink Slinging Monday, where I will be talking about something about writing. I'll come up with something by then. I've got to go write a very long paper for my World Lit class about women in literature, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay nerdy.